Hi everybody and welcome back to Jaffa Cooks, and today I'm going to show you how to make my version of ratatouille. Now, ratatouille isn't something that's commonly known, especially in my house. It wasn't known until the film Ratatouille came out, and they really did want to try it. So after a couple of experiments, we've come up with our own version of ratatouille. Now, it's still vegetables, so I'm using butternut squash, I've got aubergines, courgettes, cherry tomatoes, plum tomatoes out of a can. I've got homegrown basil. I'm sure some of you have already got your own basil growing. If not, just general basil would be good. And then I've got some petal onions, salt and pepper, some thyme, and some garlic and a couple of bits and pieces. It's a dish that doesn't take long. There is a technique to it. You could have this ready in about 40 minutes, and it goes brilliantly with just plain grilled fish, chicken. It even goes excellent with pasta. And if you're going to do it with pasta, just make sure there's a bit more tin tomatoes. That gives it a bit more sauce and coverage over the pasta itself. So, and that's really about it, and I'll show you how to make it. But before we start, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. Click on the bell icon, get the latest updates, find out what I'm up to. Keep messaging me, follow me on Instagram, and share with your family and friends. Okay, so I'll see you back at the hob in a couple of minutes. Bye for now. Welcome back everybody. So I'm using olive oil, and I would recommend any type of olive oil really, so long as it's olive oil. It gives it a bit more taste, and it allows the vegetables to basically enhance their flavors a bit more. To start off with, we'll go with the aubergines. Now aubergines, what I've done is to allow them to stay white, what I did do was cut them, and then I covered them with olive oil, so that stopped them from going brown. So first aubergines will go in. Okay, so I'm going to remove the aubergines, and next will be the courgettes, and straight with the courgettes. Half a teaspoon of salt. And half a teaspoon of pepper. Right, my courgettes seem to be halfway there, so I'm going to take this off the heat, and in go the butternut squash. Aubergines are done, courgettes are done, butternut squash is done, and now we're getting down to the basics, which is basically now the onions and garlic and everything else will go in. Those are my onion petals. Got some garlic. Okay, so now back in come the butternut squash, tin tomatoes, some balsamic vinegar. I'm going to add a little bit more salt to it. And some pepper. I'll incorporate the aubergines now and the courgettes, so you can see how vegetable-y this dish is. It's full of vegetables and full of flavor. In goes the thyme. Right, now I've taken cherry tomatoes, and what I have done is I've pierced each cherry tomato to ensure that they don't explode when you take a bite out of one. And that's really important. Just ensure that you do pierce each cherry tomato, and that way they're safe to eat once they come out whole. You could halve them, but I leave them as whole because they look a lot nicer, and they pack a punch as well in flavor. Now for the final part of the cooking, I'm just going to reduce this onto a very low simmer heat and let it cook off for the next 25 minutes. Got some fresh basil, just going to put that over the top, and I'm going to cover it and let it simmer for about 25 minutes.